Howdy, everyone. It's been a little bit. I mean, now, when you're seeing this, there'll probably be another video that's already up about me talking about Dying Light 2, which I actually wanted to apologize for because that video was very nonsensical. There's a lot of rambling, and it wasn't organized at all, which I know is like kind of like the format of my videos, but like for like talking about a review about something, it's just kind of like it's annoying to listen to. Um, but I built and I said stuff in the video. I didn't really want to leave it out of like the the videography of Minecraft videos I have. But we're back in World 1. We're back here. The sugarcane's grown a little bit. I think I need sugarcane right now, to be honest. The stair texture is still that. I'm surprised. It's weird that you actually fall damage actually damages your leather armor. I never really thought about that, but yeah. The last video actually might might look a bit higher quality because I actually had to render it through Adobe Premiere because I had to make a cut. Because my recording software like freaked out on me when I alt tab to open chords back to the base when I died. So I'm sorry if this one looks worse, because generally I like to keep it raw. I just like to directly upload from the recording. No nonsensical editing or anything like that. Just try to keep it real. So yeah, that explains that. Anyway, today I wanted to talk about long distance relationships and how kind of hard it can be. I don't know why this is here. I completely forget why I even built that there. So I've been in, a few relationships in my time. I sound like a wise old man or something. And a lot of them good. Well, some of them good. A lot of them bad, But I always like to think of it, at the end of the day, when you get out of a relationship, I'd like to think of it as an experience, that skeleton's gonna go crazy over there. You learned from it. You took away something from it, sorry. At least that's kind of like how I'd like to think of it. I need to get wood. I don't know why I'm moving around so weirdly. I also need to make like some cobblestone stairs to get up here faster. Yeah, I guess you know what? Maybe I should just talk about relationships in general. Maybe we can go through it as like a chronological order through every relationship I had. So when I was in grade 9, high school, I was a freshman. Oh, what a time to be alive. And let me tell you, I was a cringy little kid, cringy little boy going into high school. It's funny. You always look at those kids coming into high school, and you're always thinking like, oh my god, they look so small. Like, I swear every year they're getting smaller and smaller. But like, it's not true. You were just like that when you went in. Everyone was like that, all small and awkward and just going through puberty and all that stuff. But yeah. When I was in grade 9, I kind of took interest to this girl, and this is kind of something that I regret deeply, and I'm just gonna be honest about, because we all have our little regrets and problems and stuff like that. But there was this girl that I really took a liking to when I was in grade 9, early grade 10ish, around that. And she had a boyfriend at the time, but I still decided to hit her up. I was just kind of talking to her, and we talked a lot. She told me a lot about how she was unhappy in her relationship. And I know you probably see where this is going, but I want you to hear me out to the very end of the story. She was telling me about how the guy she was with, and this was someone I kind of knew from elementary school, You know, we did stuff together. We were friends at a time. It was kind of on and off. We had problems. But she was telling me how he was super manipulative and he was depressed, but he would use that against her all the time to get what he wanted or to make her feel bad for doing things. And, you know, at the time, I was really sympathetic. I was kind of like that ear for her, that shoulder. And, you know, obviously I liked her. And she kind of confessed her feelings to me. And, you know, I told her I liked her too. But, you know, you're in a relationship. And I was like, I'm not going to do anything with you. You know, I'm not going to, like, do this thing behind this guy's back, you know. You got to break up with him. You know, because, I mean, I want to be with you, and also, this guy's bad for your mental health, whatever, you know. A really scummy thing to do on my part, and honestly, I regret how I went about it to this day. It's kind of one of those things that keeps you up at night. So I go, you know, I get together with this girl, you know, and the thing is, like I was an ugly kid when I was younger, okay? Like, I was, you know, awkward, prepubescent, had, like, absolutely zero sense of style or anything, you know? I was just, like, this weird little kid, and, you know, when I got into high school, I started, you know, oh my god, don't kill me, please. You gotta be kidding me. You gotta be kidding me. Honestly, I don't even know why why did I even, like... Okay, well, I have my chords up this time, and the recording didn't mess up, so that was nice. I honestly don't know. Oh, and it's gonna become night. This is not good, actually. I honestly don't know why I went back and hit him. I think he was caught on the tree. I totally could have avoided that whole death. There's a good chance that I might lose everything I have. Anyways, back to the story. You know, I was an ugly kid, whatever, and I kind of carried that into high school, but I was maturing a little bit. You know, maybe I was getting a little more masculine features, so I wasn't as undesirable as I was before. And, you know, I was talking this girl up a bunch, and the fact that she even showed interest in me, like, honestly, I would say that's what drove me to even pursue something like that, you know? Oh god, I can see the mobs. So I was head over heels, is what I'm trying to say. Like, I fell hard for this girl. And I think we've all been there, you know, that first relationship where, you know, this is your first little lick, your first taste, your first hit of love, you know? Or, I mean, what you thought is love. This kind of infatuation with someone because they show attention back to you, you know? Especially, I mean, you can be in love with someone, or, I mean, you know, in love, you know, not obvious, but, like, okay, it's probably really dark for you guys right now, like watching the video, but when I mean love, you know, like that kind of childlike, you know, oh my god, this person is cute, you know, I really want to get with them, whatever. But yeah, I was head over heels. I thought I was absolutely in love with this girl. You know, she meant everything to me, and we would talk all the time. Like, I'm telling you, we would talk like day in, day out. And I remember she would, okay, that's a skeleton. She would actually, like, I remember that she would cry when she had to go to sleep at night because she would have to stop talking to me. I remember she would send me pics. Sorry, I'm kind of exposing her right now, but she would send me pics for tearing up and stuff. But I mean, that's just kind of the thing. That was like the young, stupid love, right? Like this is your first taste. You know, it's just dumb. You know, you know, whatever. It's cringy, but it's kind of almost fun to think about. Anyway, you know, this guy that I stole his girlfriend from. I'm just gonna say it because that's pretty much what I did. And like I said, I regret it every day. I'm not trying to like to brag that I did this or flex it or anything like that. I honestly, like I said, it's one of my biggest regrets, and I have a long list of regrets. We'll get to those someday, but he messaged me and he was like, "Listen, you know, I know, you know, I had problems with this girl and I did things that I shouldn't have, but I need to tell you something. She is not what she seems. You know, she is also a very manipulative person. You need to be careful. You know, watch what you're doing. Watch how you act. She can do a lot of things behind your back. She can switch up on you." And you know, I was just thinking, okay, this is obviously some baby attempt to ruin the relationship I have with her, and you know, try to get back with her, whatever, or maybe just to get revenge, you know. Whatever. I wasn't falling for it, you know. So yeah, I just said, okay, cool. You know, I was respectful. You know, we had a long talk about what happened and stuff like that. And honestly, for someone who did something so terrible, me, he was very forgiving and was very honest with me, which at the time really should have been a sign to me about what I was getting into and how I should have listened to him. Please don't tell me, is that a skeleton? Oh, this is horrible. That is a skeleton for sure. It should have been a sign of like that this relationship was kind of a bad omen, you know, like this was not going to end well. There's a lot of mobs inside of my house there. Jeez. But I didn't listen to him. I just played it off. Like I said, I was respectful. I was like, thank you for warning me. You know, sorry for this and that. And, you know, he was very kind. Like I said, bad omen. But I went on with it. Whatever. You know, not a huge deal. And everything was peachy. You know, nothing else bad happened. Please don't be a creeper. Okay, good. Thank God this island is lit up and safe. Oh, my God. I wish there was a bed in here as well, but there actually isn't. There's definitely monsters up there. And all I can really do right now is wait. I know my items are going to despawn. But what am I going to do, right? Yeah. So I guess we'll just be waiting here at night, and I just have to get on with my story while just sitting here. Sorry, guys. But everything was great, you know. Honestly, it got to a very obsessive relationship. You know, I got jealous over the smallest things that she did, you know, hanging out with guys, you know, not talking to me enough, and she did the exact same thing. Because like I said, it's stupid young love. You get really infatuated and obsessed with someone that you know, you're new to it, right? You don't know what's right from wrong. You don't know what's normal, what's not. And, you know, you don't really listen to what other people tell you because you're so indulged into this romanticism that's toxic. You know, you can't see what's right from wrong. Your emotions take over. You can't see clearly. And eventually, I kind of noticed that our text started slowing down. She didn't seem as interested in talking to me that much anymore. There wasn't a lot going on. through our messages, and it just kind of it slowed down a lot. And I messaged her all the time, asking her, "Hey, what's wrong? What's going on?" You know, is something up? Like, do you not like me anymore? And she played it cool. She was like, "No, nothing's wrong. I don't know what you're talking about. Excuse me, sorry. Like, there's nothing up." And I thought, okay, whatever. It's not a big deal. But that ended up actually really getting to me. So I kind of started talking to her friends, and talking around, my high school and trying to get any information I could on her and like if she was talking to somebody else. And I kind of found out that she was talking around a little bit. Now, it was nothing like concrete, like nothing she was looking for a relationship, but I found out that she would snap and talk to guys from, like Snapchat, talk to guys from the high school, like a bunch. And to me, to young me, who was, new to relationships, I thought, okay, this is like totally like she's trying to find a new guy because she's tired of me, right? So we were talking, and we had this huge fight over the phone, and this is about after like 8 months of being together. We had this huge fight over the phone, and one thing led to another. From that, it went to just like arguing about things like our how we're like different and we have different favorite things, or like how we don't indulge in each other's interests enough. It's kind of like how arguments evolve over time while you're arguing. And oh god. It was animals. I should have just... I don't know if my items are still here, to be honest. Like, that was a while ago. Anyways, the point is, she started crying, and I immaturely hung up the phone. She was in tears, and I didn't really hear back from her after that for a little bit, for like a day or so. And I started texting her like, "Hey, like, I'm sorry. Can we talk?" Yeah, my items are gone. "Can we talk a little bit about what happened?" And she was like, "Yeah, we need to talk." So, I got on the phone with her, and she told me, basically, this shattered my heart completely. This broke me when I was younger. She said to me, "Listen, after you hung up on me, my mom heard me crying, and she told me that I couldn't be in a relationship with you anymore because you made me cry." And that kind of crushed me, because I mean, the one person that I thought I was, in love with, I can't date anymore. I can't go any further with, and I felt... Obviously, I felt terrible. I mean, that's why I wanted to talk to her afterwards in the first place, to apologize for the argument. But I don't know. This just made me feel incredibly worse, which honestly was deserving. I don't think you should ever go as far as to make someone cry in a relationship, let alone make them feel like that. So, naturally, I felt like a jerk. I felt terrible. So I apologized a lot, and I asked her, "Hey, can I speak to your mom? Can I do this? Can I do that?" And she just kind of told me like she doesn't want to talk to you. "I'm sorry. I don't know what to do." But she would reassure me that she still wanted to be in a relationship to me, but we would just keep it a secret from her mom. And I was like, okay, that's a great idea. I had a kind of a breath of fresh air. Like, 13-year-old me was finally excited and happy. I could get this relationship going. So we carried on. We talked. We texted, but it was still not like it used to be. You know, not all lovey-dovey and all the time. It was a lot less. It was toned down a lot. And honestly, I wouldn't realize how much it was toned down until I went back. I used to have this really old iPad Air, and I messaged. I don't know. It saved some text messages on there from when I was first talking to her. Yeah, I looked back and I saw how we texted each other compared to now, and I kind of got sad because it was nothing compared to what it was like before. Anyways, we made plans, or quote unquote made plans to see each other. You know, we would just like make it seem like we randomly met up at like we saw each other at like a public space, and we just kind of hung out to make it seem like we were friends. But whenever we would plan these kind of get-togethers, something would mysteriously go wrong, and she suddenly wouldn't be able to see me. And you know me, I was like, oh, that's fine. You know, I was understanding. We can find another time. Little did I know it was just it was kind of on purpose, so that she wouldn't have to see me. And we'll kind of get to this, but I kept going for this kind of ruse. I kept believing her. I kept understanding. You know, it is what it is. Whatever. No worry. No biggie. You know, it's not a huge deal. And you know, eventually, someone told me, a guy I knew who was kind of in my band, or not my band, like my band instrumental class for the high school, and he played piano for some of the masses they hosted in the gym. He told me that she was hitting her up and flirting with him and wanted to get with him, and this was a guy I trusted. He was a very stand-up guy. Like, this is not the guy you would know to lie, and this is where I started to get really suspicious. So I kind of asked around, and some of her friends told me that it was true. So, you know, I kind of confronted her about it, but again, you know, she denied it, and she just said that she was just talking to him, trying to be friends, or whatever. But I don't know, it didn't really seem that way to me. But for some reason, my child pubescent brain was just like, no, it's fine. You know, it's not what you think it is. You know, I don't know. I let her manipulate me into thinking, you know, kind of gaslighting me into thinking that nothing was wrong. So whatever. I played it cool. I didn't make a big deal out of it. And then finally one day, you know, I was invited. She invited me to go, or we made plans with a bunch of people to go see the movie It when it came out. I think it was, something like that. Well, was it It? I don't remember. But we made plans to see It in theaters. I'm gonna go smelt this wood into charcoal. I think charcoal's in this update, right? I can't remember. So we went, and I specifically bought tickets online. Like, I pre-bought tickets because there was a whole thing where we had to be 18 plus to go see it because it's a horror movie. And I told everyone, hey, buy tickets online so we don't have to go through this. And everyone was like, yeah. And then guess what? No one bought tickets. Nobody bought tickets online. So, you know, obviously I was very frustrated by this. And we had the problem at the movie theater that no one could get in because they weren't 18. They had to show ID. So everyone was like, let's just go watch Annabelle. It was like another horror movie that was out at the time. And I look at her, my friend, girlfriend, and I'm like, hey, I bought the tickets online. How about we just, go watch it, you and me? We've been kind of, struggling for some personal time. Why don't we just do this, you and me? We can spend some time together, and it'll be cool. And she looked at me and like almost with a weird look, I don't want to say disgust, but it definitely wasn't a good look. And she just told me straight to my face, no. I don't want to see it with you. You can watch it by yourself if you want to. And I've never been someone to get angry at someone, to make a scene at someone in public. I'm a very calm, collected person, typically, and it takes a lot to push me over the edge. But for some reason, hearing her say those words, like those words come out of her mouth, just triggered this anger that was boiling up at me. This anger and this frustration of all these rumors, these lies, these excuses of not being able to see me, all of this, just this gaslighting and this unsureness and this stress and sadness of this entire relationship that just honestly became a hassle, all poured out. And I asked her, can we go talk in the vestibule? And if you don't know the vestibule, it's like the in between, the middle part of the entrance of like a building. So it's like the two door sets, that middle part. And she's like, okay, but I don't want to go alone. So she took her friend, and that made me even angrier, because I was thinking to myself, wow, she can't even speak to me alone anymore. Like, she doesn't even, and I looked at her and I was questioning, like, why don't you want to see the movie with me? Like, why don't you want to come with me? I thought you liked me. I thought we were trying to be together. And that's when she just stared at me, and she just gave me this look of this look of confusion. And that's kind of when I knew that this whole thing was a lie, and that everything that led up to that point was just her leading me on because she didn't want to break up with me. She didn't want to say herself that, I'm not interested in you anymore. Let's not be together anymore. Instead of actually breaking up with me, she made an excuse. She made an excuse using her mom, but I guess she heard the sadness in my voice, and she felt bad, so she said that she still wanted to be with me and that we could work together in secret. Now, like I said, I have a lot of regrets in life. There's a lot of things. I'm not a perfect person, okay? Nobody is. And I've done some terrible things. Terrible, not like Hitler or anything like that. I didn't murder anyone. But like I said, I generally keep my cool in public situations. But this is the one time in my entire life that I lost it. I started tearing up. Like, I started crying. Like, tears started pouring down my eyes. And I was looking at her, and I was kind of shaking my head. And then the one friend that was there to see it with us, she kind of pulled on my arm, and she was like, why aren't you guys coming in? Like, she was like hassling me, and kind of pushed me to go in, and I kind of pushed her back, and I yelled, like, I don't want to be in the same theater as her. And I kind of pointed at I can't say girlfriend. But that's like the first time I've ever yelled at anyone in a public place before. I have never felt such intense emotion in my life. like the swelling up in my throat, my heart pounding, like blood rushing through my veins, pure adrenaline. I'm like, dude, I'm literally, what's the right word for this? Training these mobs. But yeah, like I remember exactly how I felt to this day, just such like adrenaline pumping through my veins and the swelling up. Like it was like I'm almost like throwing up. Like the words came out like I was throwing up. Like the tears running down my face, my cheeks were red, and as soon as I said that, I kind of realized I made a fool out of myself, and I yelled, and I realized like I should have never done that. Like I realized in my head right then and there that that was a horrible idea. And not only did I just make a fool out of myself, but I did something incredibly like rude and unnecessary, and like that I was better than that. Like you should never ever. I mean, she wasn't really my partner, but you shouldn't yell at someone like that. You know, you need to take the high road, do it the right way. You know, I don't know how to explain it. I should have just walked away. I should have just been understanding, you know, whatever. I should have just walked away. Should have left the theater. Okay, I need to take care of these mobs. Sorry, I'm kind of in this conversation. Okay, really? Okay. There we go. But yeah. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. This is not good. This is like really bad. I forgot that in this version of Minecraft, mobs, oh god. I can get away. I forgot in this version of Minecraft, if there's no light or shelter surrounding you when you sleep in your bed, a mob will spawn directly beside you and start attacking you. So that's something. I should probably kill some cows to get some... Right, they don't drop beef yet, eh? Okay. Well, anyways. That whole thing happened. And, well... Needless to say, I walked outside after that. I ran outside crying. And I kind of sat on the curb near the edge of the movie theater. And, you know, my one of my friends at the time, she came out and she consoled me and rubbed my shoulder because she kind of knew what was happening. And, you know, well, she's done some pretty mean things to me before. She's kind of been there for me too. But yeah, she calmed me down and we went back in and we all watched Annabelle together. I got the tickets refunded for it from a movie person, a movie attendee, and we kind of watched the movie. I ended up talking to her about it, you know, during the movie and afterwards as well, and you know, she forgave me. You know, I apologized. And you know what's so stupid is that even after that realization, even after all of that, I still wanted her. I still wanted to be with her. Like, I still felt that love in my heart. I was hopeless, man. I was like a hopeless romantic. Man, I fell super hard for her. And I mean, like, after that, we were done. Like, it was just like, there's no even questions. Like, it was over. So, after that whole thing, you know, we had that talk. It kind of came out to me that she was starting to talk to this new guy that was from a different school. And, you know, that they started dating. But I actually found out that they were dating while they were dating while she Well, she supposedly said that, we were still, a thing, like still trying to be a thing, with her mom not wanting us to be together. Supposedly, that was all fake. But I don't know if it's cheating. I honestly don't know, because first of all, she lied to me about being together with me. She told a bunch of people that, our situation was complicated, and then she openly started dating a new guy while she, was still making me feel under the impression that we were together. And you know what the worst part is? Even though this whole thing happened, like I said before, I still wanted her. So in class, I would try to get the teacher to put us together, to sit. Um, and I became her friend. She would tell me about her relationship with this guy and everything. And that's not even the worst part. I keep saying the worst part, but the worst part is she would actually still send me explicit photos of herself while she was with this guy. So, that should say that should speak just a mountain of words. And the problem is, I was so infatuated with her, like so obsessed with her, that I didn't say a thing to the guy, because I was like, screw him. She obviously still likes me because she sends me nude photos. So she's probably just playing this other guy for a fool, when really I was the one who was being played for a fool. And she was just giving me attention, little bits of attention, because she liked the attention. She liked the appraisal that I gave her, how I talked to her, how I made her feel. Anyways, I didn't say a thing to the guy. I didn't do anything of that. And one day, eventually, she completely blocked me and everything, because her boyfriend figured out that she was talking to me in class and stuff like that, and we were exchanging a lot of things and talking, or she was exchanging pictures and stuff like that. Somehow he was okay with it, or I mean, I don't know how they didn't break up from it. He found out everything, and the only consequence that came of it was him telling her that she had to block me on everything, and stop talking to her. Or sorry, stop talking to me. That she had to stop talking to me. Which I'd like, Jesus. Sorry, jeez. Sorry, that was a lot to listen to, a lot to take in. Yeah, the skeleton's gone. And get some pork chops on here. I need some food. We'll cook that up later. But I got some glass. We can kind of fill in the windows. Nice little Minecraft house with some windows. I'll put some here. Right, sorry, I'm kind of I have to talk about the fallout now. So after she blocked me, this is when I finally was able to get the chance to think about everything that had happened in the relationship, and to reflect on all my actions and just everything. And that's when I finally came to the realization that, being obsessed with her was a terrible thing, and that this was just some stupid infatuation. I didn't actually love her. And after a while, I got over her. She eventually unblocked me on her own accord, and, she talked to me a little bit, but I just kind of, I was just kind of like, whatever. Honestly, I need to use some dirt to mark out where these rooms are going to be to place this glass down. Right, so she unblocked me, and we just became friends. I didn't like her that way anymore, and she kind of joined the friend group I had a little bit. And while we were kind of friends, we still kind of stayed a bit of a distance away from each other because, you know, past issues. I learned a lot from that relationship. It was, I mean, it was my first relationship. I learned what toxicity was. I learned the signs of manipulation, the signs of lying. I learned how to treat a girl well. I learned what not to do, the bad things. You know, my biggest regrets, the 3 biggest regrets I had in that relationship was A, taking her from that guy. That was disgusting. Horrible way to do it. I should have never even talked to her in the first place while she was with someone. And anyone who's listening to this video, please understand what I'm saying. Don't make the same mistakes as me. It'll save you, mind my language, but a shit ton of heartbreak and plight and just problems. And B is arguing with her and making her cry over the phone. Listen, you should never make your partner cry. Arguments are inevitable in a relationship. Listen, if a perfect relationship is one that has arguments, okay? Not all the time, mind you, obviously, but, you know, you guys aren't always going to see eye to eye. There's always going to be problems, and yes, you're going to argue. There aren't many people in the world who can just, you know, sustain a relationship that's absolutely perfect, so don't feel bad if you guys have arguments, but you should never make someone cry. You should never make your partner cry. So please listen to me when I say that, because even though she did things that someone shouldn't do to their partner, she didn't deserve to be treated that way and you know, been made to cry. And then C, number 3, is yelling at someone, especially in public, like that. That is just downright horrendous. It's honestly horrible. It's deplorable. It's disgusting. And it's the worst thing you can do, because not only are you making yourself look like an idiot, but you're making the other person look bad. You're making them I mean, you're making them embarrassed, you're making them anxious, scared. You're making them feel a whole lot of emotions that are terrible to feel. Sorry, I'm like tripping over my words here because I'm trying to use the right words to describe it. The only good takeaway from it, like I mentioned at the start of this video, is that you learn something. You learn not to do that in the future. And I definitely learned it the hard way. And while I did make amends with her for all the things I did, I still always think about it sometimes. Always and sometimes don't really make sense, but you know, I keep it in my mind at night when I go to bed. And it's good to think about, because it serves as a reminder. A reminder of what not to do and a reminder of what to do. She was my first time for many things, and you know, taught me a lot of things, good and bad. And that's why I don't necessarily regret the relationship, because, you know, she gaslit me and manipulated me and did all those terrible things. But she also taught me a lot of things, what to do and what not to do. So, you know, I don't regret the relationship, but I regret my actions during the relationship. But part of me getting over her was a bit of a rebound I had, which I suppose I'll talk about, because that was my next relationship in the next video, which is full of a whole lot more mistakes and a whole lot more learning, because you can't just be perfect with one relationship, right? You gotta make a ton more mistakes with another one to finally get it right. But yeah, guys, I don't wish a horrible life on her after what happened, or what she did to me. You know, obviously, because I did bad things to her too. You know, we both did our fair share of bad things. I wish her a nice, happy life. You know, she wasn't happy with me, and that's fine. Relationship can't be perfect all the time. But thank you guys. Thank you for watching and listening to me ramble. I hope you learned something, you know, from this video, from me talking. Hope you learned how to treat your partner right and not wrong. But I'm sure you guys already knew that. I think the house is really coming along. I like the glass a lot, to be honest, and I think the rooms are coming nicely. Probably this room here is going to be like this, and, you know, I don't know what we're going to do with this, but this kind of small room here. I don't know if I'm going to add a second floor. Maybe not the whole house is going to be a second floor. You know, maybe I'm going to put a second floor for like one area, like maybe this area over here. Maybe I'll put a tower at one end like there. That'd be cool. But yeah, I don't know which room is going to be rich. Maybe this will be the kitchen, dining room. I do want to make like, because I want to make one side of the house, excuse me, like one side of the house like a real life house, and then one side of the house as like a base, like a Minecraft base, excuse me. And I want both sides to be equally as easily accessible from the entrance, so that I don't have to go extra farther. Excuse me. Oh yeah, that's the plan. I don't know how long next I'll upload. I thought about making a video about Elden Ring, like I did with Dying Light 2, but I don't know. I'll have to think about it a little more, because a Dying Light 2 video was kind of disaster. Anyways, I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.